transformation. And that started my career and launched me into like this whirlwind thing where I thought, wow, my work can be on big scale. And I'm like, that's a game changer for me. Also during the same year, the Queen invited me to go to her wonderful workshop and try tenun. And this is what she calls freestyle artistic tenun. So you paint onto the fabrics rather than dye it, and then it becomes an artistic expression. That's my mother and me for the first time doing art together. That was a fun day for me. And then it worked with a weaver, and this is what I did, and that's the finished product on your right hand side. So I loved that experience a lot. It was great. So then in 2016, I was like, I know what I want to do. I want to explore multi-surface paintings to print. And so because Epson, again, appreciated the way I worked with them, they gave me money to do my first solo exhibition. So I did my first solo exhibition. I did paintings on the first floor of my studio. This is my original paintings. These are what I thought, my paintings, this is the canvas stuff. And then I translated to placemats, and then I translated to tablecloth, table runners, and coasters and mugs, and whatever. I went crazy because it was free. I wasn't paying myself. They gave me money. But I did fashion, I did tableware, I did so many things. I really went nuts that year, 2016. Did fashion because I love fashion. And I realized, and I also had my own collaboration floor where I invited 4 of my favorite designers to collaborate with me, and I wanted to see what they would do with my work. At this point in time, these are all the stuff done by designers. I would never be able to do this. Designers can do this. And here, at this point, I want to say how important it is for you to collaborate. Makers, you are a maker. I like to say in Malay, per maker, like a maker. You are a maker, you're a craft person. Please collaborate with a designer. Because when you collaborate with a designer, your work becomes 2 times better and more amazing. So, and more innovative, you never know. So this is how you expand yourself. So these are the various designs up close. So what I did with that was I learned to make things for the people, for my people. So I realized my people are very simple people, and they like to wear overthrows and coats. So I took all my paintings and I turned them into prints and turned them into coats for people to wear to work. So this is when I was working still in Media Prima, and I told all my staff, all my colleagues to wear jackets. So all the men in the office was like, are you creating a movement without us? Because I didn't have any men's clothing, it was only for girls. And they would go around to the boardroom in bright, beautiful colors, and I thought that was amazing to see. Anyway, my point is this: create things for people who believe in your work. When they believe in your work, they will be your promoters, your marketers. That gentleman said, how can somebody promote your work? Get your friends to do it first, step 1. Friends are going to be the biggest promoters for you. They're going to, and when you give your friends free things for them to try, they're going to give yes, free for now, yeah, just say it's marketing cost. Sink it in later, but you'll get it back. It will come back. The money will come back, right? But service your friends, and they will give it back to you. So this is friends of friends. My friends gave it to their friends, and they became my new fans. This is how you build a community. This is how you become sustainable and long-lasting sustainability. And this is their friends wearing their stuff. All kinds of people, yeah? Not just modern people, people with hijab. Look at that woman. She's from Singapore, and she's like rocking it. She's a cikgu, you know. Like, wow, teacher like that. And now it's like so cool. And then this is the final one where I went out. That's Jane Goodall in the middle. She's wearing my stuff. I've never met Jane, but I eventually did. But my friend gave it to Jane because it says, I need something from Malaysia. And you have these, and she loves scarves. Why can you give it to her? And I gave her for free. Jane Goodall, so I'm going to do it, right? And on that lady there, she's in New York, she's a singer, Again, I don't know her, but my friend gifted it to her. But for me, as a Nini Marini customer, I love the way it has evolved, that I've become more international even without trying kind of situation, which is the goal for me anyways. So then I decided, after my little foray in multifaceted land, I thought, I'm going to expand myself to New York. I want to see what happens when I take my work overseas. I know that locally, maybe people like my work, but what about overseas? I don't know, right? Will my work be accepted? So I got myself to Surtex. I got invited. They said, you're a new artist, but you need to pay your way to New York. Okay, so I did, paid. And I took myself to this exhibition. It's a surface textile exhibition where everybody from card makers to carpet makers were all there to show their patterns. And that's my booth on the right-hand side.
Sebelah dia, cincai moncai dia.
Right, and very bright and bold. And I took the art that I took was these 6 paintings. And I realized that this exhibition, you need like 100. So I'm like, okay, first step, 6 paintings to do. And a lot of people came by and they were shocked by the amount of colors that I had because I'm from Malaysia, and I was like, yeah, Malaysia got color. and I got featured in Surtex because it was so bright that they had to write up for me, and it was really fun because then I knew that my work was being embraced somehow in some level. And the people that came to visit, some of them, New York, Latin American, China, and North Carolina, of all people, came to come and see me, and I'm like, okay, cool. That could be the people that I work with, and I made friends. And I work with them till today. Some of them are my surface pattern designers. So spend that money, go out, make friends, expand yourself. You never know what's going to happen, you know. So in 2019, after all that experimentation and exploration, I decided that I wanted to create my own pattern portfolio. So I started learning how to properly do surface pattern design. And this is me learning surface pattern design with my friend in India, who I met in New York. How to repeat. My mother taught me this as well. So this is her correcting my work. So annoying. But it became the pattern in prints that I eventually turned into fashion and made people happy. Anyway, I learned new textile techniques also in 2019. This is the year I quit, remember? Panicking, so I don't know what to do, so I was doing so many projects. So I went to a natural dyes workshop that was held by the Queen herself in her workshop, and I learned how to do natural dyes, tie-dyeing, and learning how to do ikats and things like that. And it influenced my painting. So this is what I painted in 2019. Changed the way I paint as well. And I also then started teaching other people how to do tie-dyeing at my workshop. This is what you call expanding your business, right? So I became a teacher with creativity. And this is the amount of people that came, kids and older people as well. And then some people said, I would love for you to teach tie-dye, but I don't want the mess. How? Okay, so I learned how to do tie-dye with a bottle. And how do I play this? Click which one? Red? Next. So this is me learning how to do tie-dye with markers. Yeah, have you tried it before? So cool. Magic markers, alcohol, and habutaisel.
Oh, ni kemeribah. Alamak.
Teaching them, and when I taught them how to do this with the markers, you can do tie-dye, shibori, things like that. Yeah, it was quite fun. Yeah. All with Sharpies. I'm not sponsored by Sharpies, by the way. But it seems to have the best kind of ink. So that's tie-dyeing. And because of that, I got myself to Maui, right? And I was invited to give this workshop to a bunch of CEO ladies in Maui, and they did this them. Learning, and that's what everybody started a little bit like, what do we do? And to get to the first silk swatch was a bit of a process, but now they're all experts. They know how to do shibori, they're teaching each other techniques, you know, people are hanging stuff on the wall just to dry, they don't want the ink to go down, so they're learning all these skills, and behavior of ink and alcohol is awesome. I'm all about art education, and I just didn't know when it was going 2019 when I'm still learning, and when I came back to Malaysia, my hairdressers. Can we do some inspired workshop because my hairdressers are all not inspired to do anything, and I taught them the same technique, and they told me that they could apply this in their dyeing of the hair. And I thought, oh yeah, I never thought about the hair dyeing, thread, benang, same concept. So I'm like, wow, okay, that's kind of cool. So this is me teaching Tuningai Malaysia. And then in 2022, Institute Craft and
Astaga, makin luas tu.
and invited me to do some courses with them, and I taught the teachers the same techniques. And this is the teachers having fun day. The teachers never get to do anything, so I taught them, and the students. And with the students, I taught them how to do mind mapping and brainstorming. So this is my work from Media Prima days. I used to train people in Media Prima. I also trained them how to build a business. Who said just now, like, how can I train where do my students start? This is what I do. I create a blueprint for you. How do you start your business right after graduation? So during pandemic, I learned how to weave. My mother is a weaver, but she said that she cannot teach me. She didn't have the right tools, so I went online to learn how to do circular weaving. And I learned how to weave online, teach online. So this is me teaching. I shared that process online, and some people took notice during that time because Gila, Live IG and all that, right? So I went on Live IG a lot during the pandemic. And as a result of that, Airbnb invited me to be the first teacher from Malaysia to do a class online. Teaching this beautiful thing that I caught up during the pandemic. Oh, that's quite happy. So this is me teaching my first class. It was so hard. How do you teach weaving online? Have you ever tried that? It's like, how do I explain things? So I had a camera on top, bottom. I don't know how to do any of that. I had to Google and teach people. So it was fun. So the weaving with T++. So after this, my COVID project, I was invited to do private classes. Adidas started to teach people how to do, and it grew this year after the pandemic. It's crazy. And I took it to the next level, tie-dye plus weaving. What happens? Installation for Chinese New Year. Lantern project. And I made friends with people like Fashion Revolution who were interested to do sustainable textiles. Friends with Adidas and podcasts. New friends, 2022. So I focused on these textile-based projects. Royal Slalom approached me to do projects with them. I painted for Japan without even going to Japan. Textiles, what I can find in Ehime, which is a prefecture in Japan. Painted on bamboo fabric as well. This is me painting on bamboo fabric. Ikat did it. This is why I like Ikat so much. And I turned them into fashion, other fabric walls, so that people know more about Sokit and Tenun, and batik walls. And then Royal Slalom called me back to do Tenun. They wanted to cut Tenun. They wanted to buy Tenun and cut it and make it into display. I said, don't you dare do that. Let me do a digital print. And I asked Pajara Pano, I think, to give me a sample of the Tenun, and I did a digital print of it, more eco-friendly and more sustainable. And I'm a member of Chitra. Chitra is an association, NGO, that wants to promote traditional textiles, and I conduct workshops for my community. And this is the first one, the tulang balut, which is like the collar that you create for the baju kurung. And the second
susah tu.
Workshop, and I would love to continue doing this. If ever anyone is interested, I would like to expand and give more workshops to people as a way to create a more sustainable ecosystem for everyone. So for me, the basic is this. I know I have 1 minute and I can do this. The more you do, the clearer you become. So keep on doing, keep on being active. Don't try and figure it all out once. This entire journey that I just shared with you was over 60 years, yeah? And you never know what you want to be. So eventually, for me, my last final frontier is creating my own Malaysiana prints. I'm wearing it now. I created 3 prints. It's me so happy that my fabrics turned out so great on fabric. And the fashion that I created from that. And this is the original work and how I educate people, how I create my patterns, and I create stories out of them. And this is the people that eventually started wearing my stuff. And where does it go from here for me? I'm going to keep on doing art. This is me in my studio the next day after my launch. I'm going to keep on doing it. I've got so many things that I want to do. I don't know where I'm going with it, but here I want to say, as an artist, you have to just keep on doing you, boo. Like, you just have to do it, right? So, for me, experiment, expand, and connect. Always do experimentations. Create your ecosystem. Work with brands. Work with makers. Make friends with artists. Build your platforms, which is the people like My Creative Venture, like Rakana Nagara, and all those Brook Museum, for you. Build your connections, make friends with groups of people, build an entire ecosystem for you, a community of creative community that can help service you, that you can call to say, I need help, and they will help you. This is how you sustain yourself as a creative person. Be clear, share your dreams, don't be afraid. Don't think that, oh, I don't want to talk about myself. You Asians are always so, I don't want to say, share your dreams and collaborate to grow. Because everybody should be multiple, right? Thank you very much.